Hello and welcome to Daniela Explores second video in Sofia. And we step onto the yellow brick road, the Scelto paveta of Sofia. First the story, then the history. Sofia is the capital of the third Bulgarian state. The government has chosen a new king, Ferdinand Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and no better way to celebrate new beginnings than with a royal wedding. The government and Prince Ferdinand have big dreams for the new capital, but the reality is that Sofia is a small town on muddy roads. So the prince's cousins from the House of Habsburg decided to gift the town the yellow cobblestones as a wedding present to Ferdinand and Princess Maria Luisa of Borbone-Parma. As most nice stories, it is also very much not true. And now for the history. Sofia's mayor at the time was Martin Todorov, and Mr. Todorov had a vision for Sofia, and the vision did not include grey granite from the municipality's own mines, but shiny golden yellow paving stones. But the yellow bricks from the Pest mine and brick factory in Hungary were very expensive. So some suggest that the rumor that the stones were a gift to the king was encouraged to divert attention from the true costs of the new paving stones. This is the church of St. Nicholas the Wonder Worker. It is in the Russian Revival style. This style is eclectic. It takes ideas from many different historical periods, but there are elements that are unique to medieval Russia, such as the colorful decoration and the porch, which was designed to shelter the poor and the sick begging for alms. It is believed that the onion domes began to be widely used at the beginning of the 16th century. The church was designed by the Russian architect Mikhail Timofeyevich Preobrazhensky, and it is the official church of the Russian embassy. You cannot expect the birds to appreciate literature, but this is a bust of the great Russian poet Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin. Pushkin is considered the founder of modern Russian literature. He rejected the language of classic Russian poetry in favor of the language as spoken by the people. Pushkin was handsome and charming. He was born in the top tier of the Russian nobility, and yet got himself exiled for reciting a poem at his graduation ceremony called Ode to Liberty, which displeased the Tsar greatly. Pushkin was a keen observer of the human condition and its moral dilemmas. Pushkin was also a man of great passions, and he took part in many duels. The last one took his life aged 37. Yes, you guessed it, we stopped for a cup of coffee.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm sure we can grab something as well. Shall I make the choice of grabbing you a cup of coffee and or do you want to come and have a telephone?
And eventually the sun decided to come out. Shorty would use the term Neo-Renaissance style a lot, so I better explain. I use Neo-Renaissance to give you a hint of the period, i.e. late 19th century, early 20th century. Neo-Renaissance is a reinvention of the Renaissance style, but this is not circa 1400s Italy. Building technology has moved on, and in the centuries in between, other architectural styles have emerged. So the Neo-Renaissance can incorporate a touch of Baroque or even the flowing lines of Art Nouveau. Moreover, Renaissance itself was a reinvention of ancient Roman Empire architecture, and the Romans pinched most of the ideas for the grand architecture of the public buildings and villas from Greece. So you know what they say, if you wait long enough, it'll come back in fashion. The Old Parliament also is in the Neo-Renaissance style. It was designed by Konstantin Jovanović, a Serbian-Bulgarian architect who went on to design the old Serbian parliament. The equestrian statue of the Tsar Liberator, Emperor Alexander II, stands on granite from the Vitosha, the mountain behind Sofia. Part of the bas-relief depicts Bulgarian soldiers led by the goddess of victory. The monument is in the neoclassical style and is by the Italian sculptor Arnoldo Zocchi. The original design for the Saint Clement Oritsky Sofia University was by French architect Jean Brasson, but later architect Jordanov Milanov was tasked with redrawing it. Jordan Milanov was one of the top architects working in Sofia at the time. The Holy Synod building, which I showed you in my first video of Sofia, is another example of Milanov and Petko Momchilov work. The Bulgarian Academy of Sciences was designed by the Swiss architect Jakob Heinrich Meyer. I showed you a more joyful, in my opinion, example of his work in my video in Plovdiv. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Neo-Renaissance style was used to communicate ideas of good governance, rationality, and the superiority of the scientific method, for example. This building is in the very Italian, specifically Villa Veneta style, but it is the Austrian embassy. Il Regno d'Italia, under the Savoia, took the opportunity to settle a few territorial disputes with the Austrian-Hungarian Empire during the First World War, which apparently included pinching the Austrians' embassy in Sofia. After some lengthy discussions, it was agreed that Austria would take over the old Italian embassy, and Italy would keep the old Austrian embassy, which is next door and behind these huge trees. In the next video, Daniela Explores begins at the Crystal Park. Hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. It would be great if you could like the video and subscribe. I publish in English on Tuesdays, Italian on Wednesdays, and Bulgarian on Thursdays. Thank you for watching, stay curious, and bye bye!